Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to all. What's up, Paul? What's up, Shredda? What do you know? A little downtrend overnight. That has been pretty much what has happened like every day for the last month. Morning, Tom. We're up and at 'em right before market open, eh, guys? All right, this downtrend may very well be played out already. We'll see what NQ looks like. NQ looks a little bit more possible that it's still in a trend. Single prints on Fridays. On last Friday. Interesting. Not too much news this week. We do have new home sales today. And I believe Nvidia earnings, if I'm not mistaken. Licensed paint huffer saying, how much should I take away for taxes from a prop firm payout? Would suggest you talk with a tax professional, not a YouTuber. All right, so for now, I'm gonna assume that this downtrend's played out. I'm watching this bounce up to see what happens there. We're only a couple minutes away from the open as well. There you go, Tom. I like it. If no one pays taxes, what are they gonna do about it? Nothing. This definitely could be a channel that starts below that little swing, but always safer to assume the trade is, or the channel is done. So we'll see what happens with this little bounce up. We are now down to 45 seconds until this thing opens. And watching this little uptrend to see what it does. If we get an immediate push below the EMA, I could consider a short on the notion that we have a wider channel like on Nasdaq. And on Nasdaq, I'll also be watching for the same rejection. Okay, there's the opening bell. Let's see what's up. Yeah, we do have NVIDIA earnings on Wednesday. So that should be the major news for this week. And then the market will be waiting for FOMC on September 5th, no, 17th. S&P pulling back. And NQ selling off a bit here, just made a new low. So it looks like that downtrend may be played out. Future man. Oh man. He's from the future, guys. Welcome. Tell us what happens, please. S&P looks like it's getting a little bit of support here. Nasdaq threatening to make another new low. We'll see which way the market wants to go here. NQ dropped down a little bit more. ES hovering around where it's been. Yeah, so we do have news. As I said, new home sales at 10 a.m. I don't think the market cares too much about that, to be honest with you. We do have unemployment claims on Thursday. Would say maybe the only possible substantial release. The big thing is going to be Nvidia earnings on Wednesday. S&P slowly working its way higher, and it does look like we have a little bit of some sort of support here. Never really tested the downside on ES. Still could get there, but yeah, NQ tried to sell off. S&P didn't really follow along at all. Going to be testing the top of this little range here. Let's see if this offers any resistance or if we break through. And NQ bounced right on schedule after that downtrend had played out with a break and a new low. Here we are right on this possible resistance. Still waiting to see what the S&P does. Morning, hey Vaz. What's up? What's up? NQ is seriously going sideways here. Looked promising to the downside for a minute. Thought we were going to get a solid bounce, and now we're just kind of whipsawing back and forth. And ES does look like it's finding some resistance there at that range high. Another attempt to break out there, so even this little channel has a break and new high. A little bit of weakness on NQ again as it is starting to head towards the bottom of its range. ES still testing the top. I really hope this isn't a little preview of what's about to happen today. Hey, good morning, Ed. Un cafecito y una buena semana para todos. Sounds good. I could go for a cafecito. Reminds me, I forgot to drink water this morning. That's no good. That's why we're chopping around today, guys. My bad. And Q showing some more weakness here. Will the ES follow suit? I'm going to make sure that all my levels are up to date here. Yesterday's low is pretty... Oh, no, it's not close. I forgot we had that huge run up. Yesterday's low, or Friday's low, is all the way down here. That's nuts. Yeah, Friday's high is definitely within striking distance, though. S&P looking like it wants to go down. NQ starting to bounce off the low of that range. Good morning, water fasting. Bounce continues on Nasdaq. Anyone who was shorting that low is getting a rude awakening. S&P hovering around the EMA here. We just need to break out of this range, guys. Doesn't really matter in which direction that happens. Another drop on NQ, and there is a bit of a bearish bias here, although it is clearly a range. Every high has been a little bit lower than the previous high. We're seeing a little bit of bearish pressure here. ES is pretty much straight up in a range. Another pop. All right, whose fault is today? Who called for this range day, guys? Just be honest, fess up. All right, there'll be no judgment here. We just want to know. Please drink water. That's fair, Paul. That's fair. I really should. Matter of fact, I'm going to go do that. All right. I'm going to go grab a glass of water. I will be right back. Oh, good. Okay. There's nothing happened. Market is literally in the same exact position. And this doesn't even feel yet like a market that could explode. This feels like it really is just going sideways. Ay, ay, ay. Don't trust any little breakouts of this wedge, guys. Yeah, there you go, Toad. We need Trump to tweet. Unfortunately, his tweets don't really do much anymore. Market's waiting for something real from Trump. Here we go. Nasdaq had a little burst up. Testing the top of that little range there. ES has generally been working its way higher. Here's this low. Every low has been a little bit higher than the previous one. So possible upward movement coming on the S&P. Definitely don't expect this breakout to be legit just yet. We'll need to see some seriously convincing action. So need to see prices break above this level and then retest and hold it as support in order to start to get bullish. NQ making a run for it, but it already does look played out with two legs. We had this move up, break new high. So that's, especially at resistance, that's actually where we would expect a move down. But this does have to break one way or another eventually, so we'll just keep watching for that. There's a breakout on NQ. Pretty decent. See if it has any follow through. ES2. Here comes the retest. Let's see if it holds. Oof, not looking good for that hold. Nor on NQ, dropping back into the range. ES is right on this upward line right here that it's been all morning. So far that's holding, but if that breaks, we should see a pretty big flush to the downside. There we go, that potential push down. Another attempt and another long wick at the bottom. Buyers so far supporting this area. But again, if that breaks, should be a very quick flush. It's just hard to anticipate though, because it could go either way. Yeah, water fasting says I would have walked my dog if I knew this. Hey, there's still time. If you go and walk your dog right now, I don't think you're going to miss a whole lot. NQ kind of looks like it has a wider channel working here. I could consider a long on a pullback. Yes, we don't really have a channel to go off of. The only thing that is kind of showing here is this, but that's way too wide for this range action. This is starting to look more and more like we're about to get a big move one way or the other. Some pent up energy that you can see in the market. Good morning, Archer. Indeed, right? Beautiful Monday price action. So glad I woke up at 6 in the morning for this. ES still hanging out around that upward trend line. NQ is kind of off in its own realm right now, just having its own little uptrend. So if we get a pullback and the moving average holds, we can definitely look at a long on NQ. We did already get through that new home sales news. As predicted, didn't really do anything. Home sales were up over what was forecasted. That's something. That is something. So waiting for that pullback on NQ. This uptrend is looking better and better as we go up. Interesting though that the S&P is not really joining in on that. It's just kind of chopping upwards. Pretty soon on ES, we're going to have to be forced to trade this wider pattern. I don't like it. But especially if we're above that range high, this is what we're going to have to go with. Could break at any minute though, so just got to be watching for that. This is not a trend that we want to trust very much. We'd need a lot of proof to take along with this. Here's that move down on ES. We'll see if this holds. For sure not interested in taking a long here as we're right at this point below that range high. I wish I could call in a favor for the market, guys, so we could get some legit movement. If anyone else has some connections, maybe you know a congressman or two, do us a favor. All right, we got up. We're trying to have some decent action to start the day, and this ain't it. I'm not gonna lie to you. This ain't it. ES breaking below that trend line. Dangerous area for the bulls here. This could lead to a flush. In Q, we're just now getting a pullback of this uptrend. We'll consider a long if the EMA holds. And flushing on the S&P. See if there's follow through. Little false breakdown there. We're back above the EMA. At the same time, NQ looking somewhat played out. Had a little break and new high of this channel. S&P is just hanging out right around the EMA. We'll see if this is a break back into the range and a second leg down towards a new low, or if this is just a continuation of our choppy trend. NQ again looks like it may be played out. We would expect a correction here, but this could certainly drift up in like a secondary channel for a while before that happens. So just nothing very clear. We're just gonna have to be patient here and see what the market does. I wish it weren't the case, guys. I wish there was something super obvious that we could trade already, but we're not here to click buttons. We're not here to make trades. We're here to make money. So you have to wait until the conditions align to do so. Don't be a button clicker. If you want to do that, go play a video game or something. Trading is like a video game, for sure. Trading is the most boring video game in the world. Hey guys, watch this bar chart form for hours on end and guess when it's going to go up or down. Okay, and if you lose, you just like reset, right? Well, no. You could lose your entire life savings. Still right on the EMA, right on the top of this range. It's for sure. Key moment in today's dual action, whether or not this is going to get above that level and hold it, or we start to break back down into the range. Come on, market, just freaking decide something already. Good night. This is looking like overnight action right now. All right, looking like range is the play. Thank you, ES, for that. NQ did get a correction right on schedule. And, you know, the unfortunate part is that they're is not a lot of hope on the horizon for better price action. Outside of Nvidia earnings on Wednesday and the FOMC like later in September. We could perhaps get a buying opportunity if we continue this chop downwards. Get a failed breakout right around here, or then a double lower high on the way up. Oh, guys, I know what it is. I know what it is. There's only 12 likes on this video, so of course the market's not going to do anything. Come on, people. That's part of the algo. I never told you that. Archer, that sounds like a much better way to spend the day, for sure. The bullishness on Nasdaq is pretty stubborn. Looked like it might correct here, and now we're attempting to push back higher. Another little wedge forming on ES. See if it responds to the NQ's bullishness. Another push up here. Still incredibly hard to go long in this choppy action. Water fasting. I used to trade gold a lot more. But I found that watching a bunch of symbols, I was missing more trades than I was getting by watching several symbols at the same time. But yeah, I've traded gold before. I had some nice setups actually, now I'm looking at it. Ay. Possible long on the Nasdaq. The trend is technically played out, but oftentimes when you have a little, oh, sorry, you guys can't see anything when I switch to that screen. Hold on. Hello. Yeah, oftentimes when you have a little break in new high that doesn't touch the EMA, the trend is still active. So if we have like a really nice long setup here, I may consider taking it. That's a pretty good green bar right there. Risk to reward's a little off though. Let's see. 16 points. 13 points to the high. Yeah. Not looking great. How's ES going? Still below the EMA. That Nasdaq bar looks like it's about to reach the high. Definitely can't take that now. Well, guys, this is what it is. Man, terrible price action this morning. We don't even have a range that has consistent lows or highs. So don't chase this market. Wait for it to come to you, or just go take a walk. Go outside. Go do something else with your day. Yeah, it has that look of just garbageness. So best of luck today if you're gonna trade it. I will give it a couple more hours in the Discord, and we'll see. You never know. Sometimes these days, all of a sudden, we have an explosion out, and we're going somewhere. So if that happens, I'll be ready for it. Otherwise, see you back here tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody.